If you're using drones on a multi-camera shoot, hell, or even if it's not a multi-camera shoot, if you're using drones in a professional setting, sometimes you're going to find that you need timecode to feed back into post. And what I realized last year on the first season of Top Gear America is that the Inspire 2 surprisingly does not write timecode. It starts all timecode at 0. And so what was happening is our post-production was getting sometimes semi-accurate file creation time, sometimes not, because they would get screwed up along the way and there's no real timecode in those files, and so they would go into B-roll, and then all my drone footage is going into a B-roll bin. So I've been on a quest to figure this out, and I actually have now got a tool. This guy who makes his website videotoolshed.com, he makes a thing called QT Change 64, and that program already would insert timecode into Inspire files, into any video file, based on a variety of different sort of parameters, which you can see here. But what I was finding is that because the production is on 23976 and my Inspire was only, then those creation dates are on time of day, so it's confusing. But if you know about timecode, you'll know this, and if you don't, well, maybe this will explain it a little bit. 23976 timecode drifts away from time of day by approximately 3.6 seconds every hour. So by noon, if you set your timecode at 6 a.m. and it matched up at 6 a.m., by noon it's going to have drifted by 3.6 seconds times 6 hours. And so your time code just gets worse and worse and worse. Your time of day gets worse and worse and worse. So you can't just base your time code on time of day creation date. If that's really confusing, I'll try to include some links in the description that make it make sense. But suffice to say, we were getting screwed up time code. It wasn't helping in post. Post guys weren't figuring it out, and so I got this amazing guy, link in the description, from Video Toolshed, to update his software specifically for those of us who have this situation. And now the latest version does exactly what we want it to do. So now basically I have the audio guy who is jam syncing our slates on set. He sends me a note in the morning. He says, hey, I jammed slates at 6:45 a.m. or whatever the time was for the day. At that point, all our slates are locked, jam synced together. They will start drifting away from time of day, which is what your phone is telling you time of day, and what your Inspire sees from the controller, which you should have synced to your phone, to real time of day. And then at that point, this software will interpret the appropriate drift at the end of the day as it copies your files off of the card to turn in. And I'll show you what it does. Check it out. Amazing. Okay, so here's what I'm going to show you. This QT Change 64. What you do is drop your files in. So here are the files I recorded the other day on set. These are DJI Inspire movie files. This works with MOVs or MP4s now, which is awesome. So I will just basically, these are on the card still, on the original card. So I'm just going to drop them on here. And then what you're doing is you're looking at this, assume time code to be from. I'm picking creation time. If you had source time code in your files already, you can actually use this to modify that time code. Modification time I find to be very squirrely. It'll write the modification time when the file finishes, but it tends to be all over the place. Creation time is good within a second or two. Sometimes it's a second or two off, but it's real close. Assuming you're mostly shooting wides and such, and not lip sync dialogue, you should be fine here. So assume time code to be from creation time. and then TOD is in the jam time. So time of day is non-drop jam time. And basically what this is, on this day at 7:45 in the morning, our sound guy jammed all the slates on set, including the one he gave to me. Yes, I have a slate. I can be slating, but it's not always convenient to slate with drone. It's nice if your stuff just has time code. So I say 7:45. That's when time of day on my phone and everything would have read roughly the same as the slates. So from there it starts drifting. So by the time we got to, let's say, this time of day here, which this file was written at 2:57 and 11 minutes, then the actual what we want the time code to say would be 2:56:45 because of the drift. So if we look in this file now, what my slate was showing should be the same as that. So let's go to 899, and there's what the slate showed. This one I did slate, so that's 2 p.m., 56 minutes, 47 seconds. And here's what it's written to. So let's see what it's at the very beginning. 14:56:44. So again, close enough. I will double check what my jam time was that day. It might have actually been 7:30. And if you look at what happened, actually, I think that is what it was. It was 7:30 was the jam time. And as I adjusted those minutes, you'll see I'll go up to 7:40, 7:40:50. You see how it's changing those minutes down there? So 7:30. Now it's setting the initial time code on this file to be 2:56:44, which is exactly what I was showing on my slate. So if those were jammed at 7:30 a.m. and they're still that accurate at 2:56 in the afternoon, I'd say that's solid gold right there. So then what I do is you come over here. You can set a real name if you want. Otherwise, leave this stuff the same. And I'm choosing copy first because I want it to copy from this card to my new location. And then I'm going to go do it. And what happens is it brings up a dialog and asks, where do you want to put it? So I'm going to go put in this folder. And I've already done this, so I'm not going to hit select again because I've already copied these files. But what it's going to do is start copying across, and it'll give you a dialog there that tells you how long it's going to take. It sets proper creation times for you and loads your time code, and everything works. Okay, so you can see right here in DaVinci Resolve, I've got timecode burn turned on. You just go data burn in source timecode. And I've dropped in that clip that we were correcting, one of the ones that we were correcting. And you can see the timecode pretty much lines up. It's close enough. If you run it, yeah, it's just, within about a second. So that's going to pretty much get us going. So you can see with this tool, you're able to write timecode into your files as you copy them across and create good timecode that is going to be usable for your post situation. So if you've got a production where you've got 4 slates running at 23:976 and those slates are all jammed at a certain time of day, then you can just tell this software the time of day that was, and it'll calculate the drift for the rest of the day for you. And you should be within about a second or less for the rest of the day. Yeah, so this is super cool and is a pretty amazing tool for us. Enjoy, like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.